good morning, and welcome to today's episode of That BS Podcast. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about bull shenanigans, but I'm talking about belief systems. This is a safe space where we are re engineering belief systems to transform life's obstacles into opportunities successfully. And I am super excited for today's episode, Navigating Life's Crossroads: How to Find Your Path at Any Age. Good morning. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Navigating Life's Crossroads: How to Find Your Path at Any Age. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I shared with you that. Oh, before I jump in, I almost forgot. I'm building my YouTube channel, so I so appreciate those of you who have already subscribed to my YouTube channel. But I want more. I need more. Um, in order to do some other things and get access to some other options on the YouTube platform. So please like today's video, share it with your community, and be certain to subscribe to my YouTube channel at the BS Boss on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for that. And you'll find some other prior episodes on there, and some other interviews that I've done that I think you would enjoy. Um, as well as when you subscribe, hit that bell button and select all. So anytime I upload any new content, you get a chance to you will be notified, so you know that I'm going live. And I do that myself because we are on the go all the time and on our phones. I do that with church. For example, I participate in my church at on the online campus a lot of the times, the virtual campus, which is very active. So I turned on all. So anytime we go live, I get a notification. So it doesn't matter where I am able to participate. Not to mention, I'm a minister, so oftentimes I am in the chat room working as well. So anyway, thank you so much today. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe at my YouTube channel at the BS Boss. Thank you. So, as I mentioned, today's episode is going to be different. Hopefully, this the mic is picking up. Um, it's going to be a little bit different because I remember sharing with you all in a previous episode that there were some things I was working on behind the scenes. And one of those things uh, is ready, and I can share with you today. And I'm super excited about it. Nervous and excited. So, what is that? Nervous sighted? Yes, I am nervous sighted for sure, for sure. Um, but today I'm going to share part of my why I do what I do, how I came to do what I do, and starting this podcast, and that will give some context as to and background and some meat on the bones for what I've been working on and what I've created that I'm going to share with the viewers today. If you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching the replay, thank you, and you won't miss out on what I've been working on and what I have to bring to the table today. So I had somewhat of I've been in a nostalgic mode, reminiscence. Um, I don't think melancholy is a good word, but definitely in a reminiscent mind frame and a contemplative. How about that? I think that's a good word. In a contemplative mindset about where I am in this chapter of my life. So that's why today's discussion about navigating life's crossroads, how to find your path at any age, is so critical. It's personal to me, and I know that I am not the only one. So I am I'm looking. I wanted to make sure I had some Kleenex nearby just in case, it starts to rain. My eyes start to rain. Um, but I am one of the federal employees that elected to take the fork in the road. And so, for those of you who are not familiar with what the fork in the road is, with every change of administration, every new president that is elected and comes into the White House in Washington, D.C., comes in with their own agenda and goals that they would like to achieve during their tenure, during their time as president. And during their time as president, they're executing the plan that the American public, the majority, elected them to do. And every time we elect a new president, priorities change, missions change. How we meet the mission and the goal changes. It's just normal. It's just the process. Just like any time a new CEO or president of a company changes and changes head, although the company mission, goal, or product or basic service, core product, core service doesn't change or may not change. Any change in senior leadership is going to bring about changes. How one serves, how one delivers the product, what products are delivered, even have to evolve and change. It's normal. It's normal, but it's a crossroad for those who have been employed at the company, at the federal agency, under a different leadership. It's a crossroad. And it's a crossroad that is experienced in the federal workspace every 4 years. It's just what it is. It was how it was designed and how it was created. Well, I am coming to you as an individual who has been working in the federal space for 36 years. I printed off my entire work profile that is in my electronic official personnel folder, just to look over everything that I've done. 36 years worth of employment, 36 years worth of performance appraisals, 36 years worth of bonuses and awards and the like. Um, it's been a lot, right, over those years. When I started my federal career back in 1989, I came in on the tail end of Ronald Reagan leaving. And I believe, if I remember correctly, my history correctly, the first Bush coming in. So I have worked under several presidents, and what we call administrations, several administrations. So I have been at crossroads and forks in the road on more than one occasion. I have seen a lot. I have experienced a lot. And quite honestly, looking back, I have had the time of my life. However, any long term relationship, it doesn't matter what it is, be it a friendship, a long term friendship, be it a long term marriage, even a work relationship, there are challenges. There are crossroads. There are stages that you get in where you have to renegotiate the relationship. You have to revisit how you engage and how the relationship is going to move forward if you want to maintain a healthy relationship, if you want to stay engaged in that relationship. So I must say that when I started, I I was fortunate that my first assignment was in a human resources office. So I got the exposure. I was able to be exposed to all the different careers in the federal service. I had access to something that's called the qualifications S118. I don't know if it's still called that. I haven't been in HR in decades, but that included all of the job series that are in the federal government and the skill sets and education required for each, as well as the duties and responsibilities, what those jobs consisted of. Having access to that material, I read through that book. Um, to investigate and decide what path I wanted to go on. Where did I see my federal career? Because I knew that I wanted to work for the federal government. I have a rich family history in the federal government. My grandfather was a World War II veteran. My father, a Vietnam veteran. My mom and several aunts and uncles all worked in the federal government at different branches in both the executive branch as well as the legislative branch. Actually, all three. I've had family members in all three. Family members that worked for members of Congress on Capitol Hill, family members that have worked at the Supreme Court with the United States justices. I've had family members in the State Department, in Department of Health and Human Services. Um, yeah, I think that's it. National Institutes of Health is part of Health and Human Services. Agency for International Development is part of the State Department. So I've deeply, deeply entrenched. And I began my federal service at the National Institutes of Health in the clinical center personnel office. So that is where I cut my teeth. So I share all that to say, oh, and I started as a receptionist. I think my title was actually receptionist. I don't even know that the federal government even has receptionists anymore. But I had the benefit of working in the front office. I was the first face that you saw, and I supported. I believe there were 14 human resource specialists, two teams, seven on each team, and it was an experience that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. So started off as a receptionist in 1989, ending my federal career. The trajectory in the middle is I went from a receptionist um, in human resources to a clerk typist, I think it was. Um, I worked in grants momentarily, and it was great. But it didn't spark anything in me. I worked in grants for a few years at the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. I was excited because I was there when we were working on the smoking cessation, Nicorette, Nicorette gum. I know some of you all may have heard of that, but I was at the Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute when we were working on Nicorette gum. Then I had the opportunity to go to the National Institute on Deafness and Other Communication Disorders, where I worked in a budget office and I started off as a budget assistant. And that is when my world opened up. I mean, angels singing. When I interviewed there, Patience Sparks was my supervisor. She was the budget officer during my time there. And she shared with me with budget, either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it, one or the other. And I give you a year. And if you hate it, I completely understand and you can explore other options. Well, let me tell you, ah, I majored in business. So getting into the budget office, I absolutely loved it. I found that spark, that fire, that excitement. Um, and I went to budget, a crossroad. Okay, we're talking about navigating crossroads. Um, and how to find your path at any age. So I was in my early 20s when I came to the budget office because while I was in the grant space, there was a class or some a training that I wanted to take, and I was told I couldn't take the training because there wasn't any money, and I didn't understand that. I was like, wait a minute, we have money for all these other things, and there's no money for training. Let me see the budget. Again, a business major. So let me see the budget. Where are the numbers? This class is not that much money. So anyway, I decided at that point that I wanted to learn budget and work in a budget office. So I applied for a budget assistant job. Ended up at where I did, and I found my place. I found my spot. I was super duper excited. And on from there, budget assistant to a budget analyst, on to a budget director, several different iterations of budget director, financial management officer, chief budget, all of those types of things into supervisory roles, Department of Transportation. I've worked at uh, Department of Homeland Security. I work for the U.S. Surgeon General. I've been a lot of places in the government, and I only share that because I want you to know what I've been working on is as a result of all the experience that I have at several cabinet level agencies. Um, and working with the budget, being able to see the inner workings and how I was able to cut my teeth on the legislative process, all of those things, interviewing people. I'm excited that most of the people that I supervise, my goal when I interviewed people and came into new environments is that I wanted to foster their dreams, foster their goals. And I always said to everybody who worked for me is that one day I want to sit across the table because you are the budget officer, you are the chief financial officer, you are the person in charge, the director, executive director, or what have you. And you're the one making the decision and doing the hiring. And I want to work for you. Bottom line, I want you to go from here to your greatest dream, hope, and dream. And most of the people that have worked for me are now running their own offices, now having their own businesses, providing financial management services, accounting, CPAs. It's incredible and exciting. So, but each time I changed environments, they were crossroads. They were forks in the road that needed to be navigated. It wasn't all easy. I'm talking now on the other end after 36 years, but it wasn't all easy, right? Um, but there are a number of skills that I learned along the way. Case in point, there was one time that I was at a space and my manager my supervisor wanted me to take a series of classes in order for me to move from I had moved from assistant to being a professional, a budget analyst in a professional job series. And I felt like I deserved a promotion. I was doing the work, putting in the time and that sort of thing. But she didn't agree. And she wanted me to take a course structure, a certification structure path, get a particular a certification in order to be promoted. So the way and that they offered to pay for some of the courses. Actually, they offered to pay for all of them, but the way that they were spread out, it was going to take me 3 years, I think it was, in order to get this next promotion that I felt like I deserved now. Talking about navigating life's crossroads, how to find your path at any age. So here I am in my late 20s now, in my late 20s. I need to take this cadre of classes in order to get this particular certification. And they're willing to pay for it, but it's going to take 3 years to get it. I've already been doing the work. My mind cannot fathom the thought of 3 more years of doing this work before I get to the next step. So, in finding my path at any age, I did ask the question. So let me understand. As soon as I finish these classes and I get this particular certification, then I will get the next promotion. I will get the next grade. Yep, Lisa, that's it. You got it. Once you finish all of these classes and get this certification, you will get the promotion. Okay, great. But we are only paying. There were 6 classes to get this certification. They were only willing to pay for 2 classes a year. There we go. So that's why 3 year period. Asked the question, I was clear, confirmed, yes, once you finish these classes, you'll be able to get the next grade. So they paid for the 2 classes, but what I did was paid for the other 4 out of my pocket. And I paid for those classes myself. I took the classes and mind you, I had to have a passing grade, which wasn't a problem, but I had to share my report card um, to prove that I passed the courses. So I paid for the other 4 classes myself. And at the year mark, the year and a half mark of my performance review, I provided my report card with all 6 classes and the certification completed, all A's and everything, and said, okay, so now I can get my promotion. My supervisor was livid. Navigating life's crossroads and forks in the road. She was livid. And I didn't understand the anger because I was clear in understanding that as long as I finished these classes and got the certification, I could get the next grade. But she didn't want me to have it for 3 years. She wanted to stretch it out, but it didn't happen that way because I found a path. I found the path. So that leads me to what I have been working on behind the scenes, super excited. For those of us, not just federal employees, but anybody who finds themselves at a crossroad right now, a fork in the road, and you're wanting to find your path, find your next chapter. What is next for you? I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 this year. Even though I took the fork in the road, my life, my career life is not over. This is just a fork in the road. This is me navigating another path for myself at this stage. I am not sitting at home knitting blankets, crocheting blankets. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your thing, great, great, great. Woohoo! It's not mine. My 2 children are adults. I don't have grandchildren. I have grand dogs. So that's the closest thing I'm doing to the grandmother thing. So I'm still young. There's still work for me to do. I still want to influence, encourage other individuals to be all that they can be. So I have created a course that I am offering. Let's see, is it going to come out? Great. And it is called Navigating Life's Crossroads, How to Find Your Path at Any Age. I am stoked. okay? Because I have been working long and hard on this. You can go to 4K, fork, how do you like that? 4kintheroad.com to sign up. Forkintheroad.com, 4kintheroad.com in order to register for navigating life's crossroads, how to find your path at any age. Let's see, is it going to let me? Okay, by the end of this course, um, well, in summary, high level, many of us, especially career driven individuals over 40, find ourselves at a crossroad or fork in the road in a world that often prioritizes stability over passion. This course is not just about career development or the next chapter, but it's also about personal growth. It's designed to help you uncover your true calling and reignite the fire within you. I mean, that same fire that I got when I first entered into the budget arena and had my aha moment and the angels were singing. This is a next chapter for you. And you want to reignite that fire through engaging storytelling, practical exercises, and community support. You'll embark on a transformative journey of self discovery and empowerment. Here are the benefits and expectations. By the end of this course, you will identify your core values and strengths. Because our core values, before we do anything else, when we get to crossroads and forks in the road, it is our core values that give us clarity on our purpose and passion. Once we've identified all of our core values, write them down, right? See them, review them regularly, and look for ways to implement those core values in our next chapter. So, identify your core values and strengths. You'll also be able to reconnect with passions that may have been set aside. At various crossroads, this is an opportunity for us to revisit what excites us. What were we passionate about, even as children? What were we passionate about when we first started working? What were we passionate about when we first met the one, right? Um, when we were excited about a new opportunity, reconnecting with that passion that we have maybe set aside. Will also be able to overcome fears that hold you back. It is natural that when we're having an experience that we've never had before, to be fearful. It's normal. It's normal. But sometimes we allow those fears to hold us back and not move forward, not take the next step, to keep us stagnant and stuck. And we don't want to get stuck, especially for those of you who are like me, we're in our midlife stages, getting stuck. We don't have time. How about that? That part. We don't have time to get stuck. So that's another objective that you will have accomplished by the end of this course is overcome fears that hold you back. We'll also create a roadmap for living a purpose driven life. When we come to forks in the road or crossroads, sometimes um, we can feel lost, but we're not really lost. But we just have to recalibrate, just like the GPS system in your car. And when you put in the directions and and if you take a wrong turn or you end up at what you think is the destination and something may have changed and the GPS hasn't been updated, but you need to take a different direction. This is what a crossroad is. We're just at a place where we need to create a roadmap for living, for going back to our purpose, building upon that reignited passion, creating a roadmap for the next steps to living the life that we want to live for this chapter and phase of our journey. And finally, we will, oh, I missed it. Build resilience and persistence in the face of the challenges. Last but not least, build resilience and persistence in the face of challenges. We're not new to this, we're true to this. This is just another one of life's obstacles that we're transforming into an opportunity successfully. What's important is that I'm all about creating a safe space, right? The course will be offered on a platform. It's not going to be Zoom. It's going to be offered on a platform where you don't have to turn your camera on. You can fully engage and participate, and be able to participate in the exercises and interact with me. I'm teaching it. I've created it. I'm teaching it. So as a reminder, it's a confidential space, a safe space. And finally, a reminder, this is a safe space where we are re engineering belief systems to transform life's obstacles into opportunities successfully. And re engineering belief systems is even the fact that the place to go register is forkintheroad.com. FKINTHEROAD.com. Because I want to even take, when you hear fork in the road, not to, for your body to tense up and tighten and get angry and like, oh no, fork in the road. I want to re-engineer that and change it into something positive. No, no, this is not bad. This is just an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to take what may be presenting itself as an obstacle, transforming it into an opportunity to take the next chapter of your life by storm, is to make this next chapter the most incredible chapter you've ever had. FKINTHEROAD.com. There are two options there. They're both options. You get the recording and the workbook, but there is an upgraded option where you get to participate in a group coaching session with me, where we go a little bit deeper and you get to exchange with me, and that will be done face to face and it virtually, but in an environment where we can see each other. It will be recorded and you will get that as well. That is with the upgraded option. You will see when you go to that page, in parentheses, it'll say group includes group coaching session. That is an upgrade that's available. But whichever you choose, you'll get the workbook, you'll get a recording of the class. So if for some reason you're not available to participate personally, you will get a recording of the class. It's going to be 5 days, beginning Monday, April 21st through Friday, April 25th. When you register, a week before the class, you will get a link, a private link to where the class will be hosted virtually. I ask that you not share that link with anyone who has not registered with the class, because you're also going to have a pre work assignment to do before the beginning of the class so that we're all starting from the same place with the same mindset and we can jump right in. So, I am super excited about uh, what I have created, which is navigating life's crossroads, how to find your path at any age course. go to forkintheroad.com. And fork is spelled with the number 4 and the letter K, in the road.com. Whew, super excited. I look forward to seeing you. And thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.